But she recovered a few weeks later. It was fine in the end.
Hello, everyone.
Hi.
Hello.
So this is actually our 9th episode of the of the Watchalong. Yeah, can you believe it? And so today we're going to be talking about season 2, episodes 7 to 9. So as the banner says, please no spoilers beyond beyond episode 9. Mm-hmm. And these are some 3 pretty big episodes to talk about.
Yeah, these are major.
So we're starting off with the other 48 days, which I will just say before we let our newbie get into it, I will just say is one of my favorite all-time episodes.
I can see why.
But all right, go ahead, hit it, MJ.
I've got a ton of notes, and I sent you guys my notes, so
Yeah.
I there was no way I was going to remember everything about this. So the first thing that popped into my head. All right, so we're getting the viewpoint from the back of the plane with the crash now. So it opens up where there's a calm beach, and then all of a sudden here comes the plane in two, and the back end drops in. And I remember Ana Lucia saying that there were 23 of them. And I'm like, there's no way there were 23 of them because you can count. There's probably like 16 or 17 or something like that. All right. So I digress. So we
23
is a magic number. So we kind of get an idea as to who the tailies are, right? And who the others are. And there's a disconnect for me that I'm sure is going to be explained in the future, but I don't know how some people turned into others. Maybe. Okay, if that makes sense. Okay, so I asked, why are the others dressed like that?
Good question.
Right. Ethan had clothing on much like Rousseau. And he was an other, right? We all remember Ethan from season 1. He was not on the plane log.
Same with
the others seem to be wearing linen, which is a high frequency vibration. It's the highest frequency of material that you can wear, like for vibration wise, just to get a little woo woo on you.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yes. If you want good karma and high vibes, stay away from polyester.
Ooh.
So day 3. Okay, day 3, the infection is getting worse. So Donald is a tailie, and something happened. He's sick. He has sustained injuries from the crash, and the infection is getting worse. Donald will be the 4th to go. So already 3 people have died from the tailies. Ana Lucia is losing empathy and developing a hard shell. Every day passes, you see who she was when she was flirting with Jack. Every day there seems to be another layer of armor that she puts on, whether it's self-protection or whether, she just wants to keep people away, whatever. It's almost like a survival instinct, I think. Okay, so I'm going through the days as they show up on the screen because they just had like the first 40 some days, whatever listed. So day 5, Donald's dead and buried. He didn't make it. And there's 8 other graves in the ground. So I paused it and I just counted the rest of the graves. Day 7, there's a sneak attack by the others to get the kids. Okay. And we see the linen clothing walking in. And talk about the barefoot thing again. So when they say that they don't leave footprints, what exactly are they saying?
I think they mean they don't leave tracks. Like you can't follow them.
Yeah,
they're not leaving an impression.
They've had trouble chasing this thing up. They're kind of a little bit kind of on their own. They can't follow them and find them. They look for them. They can't find them.
Okay, so they're not good trackers, is what you're saying.
No, I think the sentence suggests something else. That
would Kate be able to track them with Kate's tracking skills?
I think the suggestion is that is what the others are doing rather than whether or not the tailies are any good or not.
Okay.
The others are so sneaky that the others are so sneaky that they know how to get through the woods without leaving marks or a trail to track.
Yeah.
It's dragging of the teddy bear, right? Wiping the footprints behind you. Is that it? Maybe?
That's how you do it. You drag a teddy bear behind you. That wipes out the track.
Sponsored by Toys R Us.
Okay, so then how is the female how is the other female dead? I have no idea what I wrote with that. On day 7, how is the female other dead? A list of 9 of us, the manifest. How do they have a list? Do we know how they have a list?
No.
We find out.
We find out why they have a list of who's there. Okay. All right. So that was day 7.
Oh.
Yeah.
No, we find out in one of the 3 episodes. I think in episodes. Yeah, we find out later in this episode.
Oh, the list that they referenced, that's the same list?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, I thought you meant why they have that list, because that's kind of explained later as well. Where this comes from.
Okay, Goodwin was in the replacements with Keanu Reeves. I just want to put that out there. That was a great. Trust. I have trust issues with Ana Lucia. Why doesn't Mr. Echo talk? Day 15, they've been walking for 3 days. There's tension in the group, and Ana Lucia has to make a compromise. She's like, okay, we'll rest. Day 17, a lot of theories going on in my head, and she's digging the pit. She's digging the pit that we see Sawyer and the others get put in. Day 19, cold coxum, lights out. Welcome to the pit. Is Nathan like Ethan a secret plant? Okay, so Nathan. This is when Nathan's character really starts popping off. I'm starting to like Anna after she interrogated Nathan. She did an excellent job with that. Day 23, Nathan's not talking and he's still in the pit. Someone gave him a banana. So now Ana Lucia is trying to find out who gave him the banana, and we think it's Mr. Aiko, but he's still not talking. She made a promise to that little girl to get her home to her mom. She's sticking to her guns. And Nathan is going to be called Four Finger Nathan pretty soon because she was going to start ripping off fingers to make him talk, which is a wonderful interrogation tactic. Goodwin is a total and utter traitor for letting Nathan come up. We all know Nathan is a plant. He's a spy for the others. These are my thoughts as they're going.
Really, yeah.
You can see
5 minutes later,
on.
you go, whoa.
Yeah, right. Let's see. Hold up. Plot twist. Goodwin is the plant. Why did he crack Nathan's neck? What's going on? Goodwin is making googly eyes at Ana Lucia. Day 26, they walk to the ocean to check it out. That's all for day 26. Day 27, find the doorway. Bible glass eye radio. Ana Lucia knows what's up and she's flirting with him, but she knows. I called it. Death by impalement. That was wonderful. I love that. I do. I love that.
Dark.
That was a good scrap.
Because I didn't like that guy when he was on the replacement. So there you go.
No.
Day 41. So from day 27, we jump to day 41. So there's a huge gap in time. Ana Lucia steps into being the leader, and then she has a quiet moment and has a complete and utter breakdown, as most strong females have. You know, that's just the way it goes sometimes. I feel for her. Mr. Aiko waited for 40 days to talk. I thought that was a wonderful moment between those two. Like, absolutely,
great line.
Absolutely stunning. You waited 40 days to cry. Oh my God, these writers, what are they doing to me? That's what I heard. Day 45. What? Oh, they found Jin washed up on the shore. Why does Jin still have the broken handcuff? Anyways, can't see like, oh, can't she pick a lock? It's not that hard. Like, why does he still have the cuffs on after all that time?
Because nobody is good at picking locks like you are.
Yeah.
I mean, come on.
You can pick handcuff locks, but they can't.
They're trying to find radios. Like, can't Saeed do something about that? Like, I don't know.
Apparently not.
Yeah, blame on Saeed.
I'm telling you. Okay, so now we see the rage and the violence that comes through with Sawyer and Michael getting up on the beach. Day 46 is flashbacks. Day 47, I'm asking who got Pam. Day 48, the voices happen. There's a lot of rain. Shannon gets shot, and Saeed makes an enemy for life. And that's how episode 7 ends. So we get a full flavor as to what the Tailies, number one, their experience of just falling from the sky and landing on the island. Number two, having members of their group kidnapped. And number three, having trust issues within the group because of a secret plan. Like, it was a fantastic episode.
Yeah, it was great.
Well, and they landed in the sea as well, didn't they? Didn't land.
Mhm.
The others, main cast, landed on the island, whereas the Tailies, the tail landed in the actual sea, which is why someone just died straight away.
Mm-hmm. Except for Bernard, and just.
Yeah, that's right.
Oh yeah,
the tree. That was great. Stuff in the tree. I'd forgotten all that when it was like someone's in the tree, and I was like, hey, it's him.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what did you guys absolutely love about this episode, and what character stood out to you, and what type of trauma did you go through like me?
I think it's great that they
go ahead.
No, sorry, go on.
Oh no, I just remember thinking to myself, dang, if I crash on an island, I hope there's a doctor on the plane. Because there's such a big difference of people who live through it or not. Yeah. I just looked at my notes and I wrote Nathan got discriminated against for having a weak bladder.
Well, also he was a dick. Yes, there was that. That didn't help him.
Yeah, because he was in the bathroom.
He was in the bathroom in the plane, which is why no one saw him. And then he went to the bathroom for 2 hours in the jungle alone.
Yeah, whatever.
Not great decision making, but anyway. Yeah.
I think it's great that they wanted to tell that story, and rather than eke it out over loads of episodes, so let's just do one episode where they do a whole season's worth of material just about them, and then we'll get that sorted so that we can move on. I thought that was great because it was so powerfully done. And they could have made it stretch across an entire season, but they didn't. They just went, bam, this is what happened to them.
Yeah. And like one day, all they do is reach the ocean and they're looking out at the ocean, and then it moves on to the next day. They're keeping it snappy.
Yeah, their timing was really good because obviously they didn't look at every single day. They skipped days sometimes because they wanted to just give you the message of what happened to them.
Right.
I think it's interesting that Anna Lucia promised that she made a promise to the little girl, and it's a kind of Jack makes promises all the time, so I think there was a deliberate reminder that she's the Jack of the other group,
Yeah, kind of.
Yeah, I think so. I think that's the equivalent.
There's a lot great about this episode, starting with the very beginning with that plane crash, which was awesome.
Yeah,
that was just so well done. The pacing was excellent, considering how much they had to get into this episode. They did a great job with the pace, the confrontation at the end before the impaling, fantastic. So much great acting in this episode. Just really awesome episode. I remember this one very well from the first time that I watched it.
Yeah.
And it's fantastic.
Yeah, I think there's probably a couple reasons that it left like such an impression on all of us. It was number one was that beginning. That was amazing. Where it was just total silence, like just a totally peaceful setting, and then all of a sudden, that was pretty wicked. But I mean, it was also just fundamentally different kind of episode, right? Because it's the first episode where these episodes are based on this flashback model, and it's the first one where we don't have that, right?
Well, it's all a flashback. Really?
Yeah.
Right.
Think about it. It's
an island flashback.
And it's 100% different characters.
Yeah.
Exactly.
But it also means more because we know what happened to the rest of them. Because we know what happened to the main characters. We're kind of subconsciously comparing it as well to what happened to them. Because they had a very different experience. So if we'd have seen that that had been the first episode, it wouldn't have been as powerful. But because we're back to the crash and we're like, oh, okay, wow, this is very different.
Yeah.
I was a little bit frustrated I'm a bit divided on this episode actually, because I thought it was a really good way to show what the others went through, but I kind of almost wish we had a little bit more, because I can't help but feeling like, when the first group had, they were getting attacked either by I don't know, the smoke monster, whatever, like a bunch of shady stuff going on. They still went about trying to figure out what was going on, go to the jungle, get food, blah blah blah. And I almost wish that we got more from the tail end of trying to figure out who these others are. Maybe try to go in the jungle, go to, I don't know, a little bit more, because I just felt like, oh, they're just kind of victim-y, like just sitting there for however long they were there, 40 days before they went in, or maybe a little less. No, 20 days.
I think you can imagine what it's like from the writer's perspective, that they want the audience to know more about the others that are attacking them in a particular at a particular time, and they want the tailies to be investigating a little bit more with the main cast as well. And I think it's because it's all putting people together so that they can kind of make new stories with those, and then bring in the other plots that they're starting. I think it was deliberate rather than something that they've missed out. I think they wanted to cover that later.
It also makes sense from a story standpoint, I think, because the tail castaways have a very different experience than ours, in that they were targets from the beginning. The others were going after them right away, and so they knew that the others were out there in the jungle, and they were kind of victim-y, but I think they had such a harder time that just to survive, they would be more afraid to go out into the jungle and do that.
Yeah, that's true.
So just for clarification for me as the newbie, so we have our original cast over here, and we have the tailies. And are the tailies, are some of them, like the little boy, were kidnapped to become others? Are some of the tailies others themselves, or is others like some other piece that's coming in now?
Well, the kids and certain members of the group were kidnapped by the others, but we don't know why. And at this point, we don't know who the others are. We don't know how many of them there are, and we don't know why these people are getting kidnapped.
Okay, so was Ethan an other?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
And so it was Goodwin. Goodwin and Ethan are the two others.
Yeah.
Goodwin and Ethan.
Okay.
They're the others we've met.
We've only met two.
Okay, and Nathan is...
Nathan was just a victim of...
He was just a jerk.
Yeah. Poor bystander.
But you thought that was going to be one of my questions for you, MJ. You did think he was an other, right? Until Goodwin killed him?
Well, just because he came off like that. Like, I would...
Because he kept disappearing and...
He had,
but again, the writers did that to us.
As the kids say, he was very sus. Suspicious for all the old timers.
The old timer.
So, let me think. Okay, so my takeaway from this was really just the transmutation of Ana Lucia's character from the day that we see her, on the beach, freaking out and trying to help, all the way to basically impaling someone and taking charge. Like that's a big shift. That's female rage coming out. For sure.
Well, what she was like with Saeed, tying him up in the way that, which is putting in the next episode afterwards. But that's a very different Ana Lucia than someone who wouldn't have gone through that stuff. She's utterly paranoid. And at that point everyone hated her. She was completely irrational all the way through that whole clearing thing with Saeed. And that's because if she's definitely one of those characters that if she's put against the wall, then she just reacts irrationally and really badly, which is why she had so much trouble as a policewoman.
Yeah. We don't know that yet. We know that in the next
episode. No.
Yeah.
But, do you know what I mean? That's part of it, isn't it? That she's got a temper and she can't control her emotions very well.
And she has grief.
Yes.
And she has
Yeah. That was crazy. That bit. Yeah. So that extra bit of information was pretty severe.
Yeah, that puts a whole other layer. So let's talk about the next episode. I didn't take notes on these two episodes because I was exhausted from 7. So I'll just
Before we go on, though, I think I uncovered a bit of a plot hole, and this is just total nerdy stuff, just
like
for the sake of poking at things that need to be poked at.
That's what happens when you're 7 times in.
Yeah.
So I think there was a continuity problem because you see Cindy is at the tail of the plane. But if you look at the flashbacks, she's actually the one who's running after Charlie when he goes to hide in the bathroom because he's trying to do his heroin.
Mm.
So how can she be at the front and the back of the plane?
Well, planes are quite small
Twins.
things in the sense that you
Yeah.
can walk from one end to the other in less than a minute. So I'm not really sure that's a plot point.
I don't think so.
The air blew her back
Literally,
to the
Yeah.
back of the
Yeah.
plane.
you can literally get to the other end of the plane quite quickly. I'm not really sure it's a plot
All right, I'm just gonna blame it on the crew, not checking the footage properly.
I think
but
Celeste is a fair comment because that was when they were trying to get him out of the bathroom that
yeah,
the crash happened.
yeah.
So why would she run to the back of the plane? Like,
Well,
in the
you
middle
see
of,
her. She looks
you
at
know?
Charlie going, and she's like, that guy is
Yeah.
weird." So she gets 2 other stewardesses or something, and they all 3 go running after him, and then the plane breaks in half. So
You
anyway,
found
but that's
one
just
more
like,
lost mystery. You
yes,
thought we were going to get plenty of lost mysteries.
the only
You found
mystery that
one
has
more.
yet to be solved.
Does it show her in that area then when the plane goes?
Is it what?
Yeah,
Does it- does it
in the
show
front
her?
because they were trying to
Oh,
get him
yeah.
out of the bathroom.
Yeah, yeah.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Fair enough. I thought.
'Cause- and then
from what I
when
recall.
you see them, Jack, Kate, and Charlie go to the cockpit, you see the bathroom was right next to the cockpit.
Right
It
there,
was
yeah.
in the front. Yeah. Anyway,
That's a good one.
episode
You
8.
just ruined the whole show for me.
I know.
Yeah.
I'm
I
sorry.
can't even watch it anymore.
Saying, what?
I know this show's so low quality.
All right. So, anything else we want to talk about 7? There's so much to unpack.
Anna Lucy was in seat 42F.
Oh, she wasn't.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool. That's the secret of meaning of life, right?
Yeah, exactly. She's the secret. Oh my gosh.
Maybe.
Wow, I'm in seat WTF.
Garrett, did you say that the selection of the 42 was a nod to Hitchhikers? Did you say
Yeah.
you
He
read that?
said
Yeah.
he said all the other numbers he'd just stolen them from previous episodes. Thought I'd just use that, and then he had one left, and he just wanted to pay tribute to Hitchhikers.
Okay.
It's perfect.
All right.
Who wants
So,
to take over for
Anna
episode 8?
Lucia's episode? Is that what we're doing now?
What's
Yeah,
the name of this one?
episode-
Is this
episode
Collision?
8.
Collision.
Collision. Yeah.
Collision.
Well, it starts with her in therapy, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So she's in therapy. She's meeting with her therapist, and you know, it seems as if they have a good therapeutic relationship, and you know that she's there for something work related because she wants to know if she can, get back out there.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And he stands up and hands her badge. So basically, okay, you're good to go back to work, back in the field. Go do you. And
you would have found out that she was a police officer if Gareth hadn't pointed it
Right.
out last.
I learned that 3 episodes ago because of Gareth. Because he needs to flip it. And we find out that Anna Lucia's mom is her boss.
Yeah.
Wow. That's, So we have 2 females working in a police department, one in leadership and one is a line officer. And, Anna Lucia is like, I want to go back. I want to go back on patrol and I want my car back and I want my old partner back and all these things. And she's like, I can't do that. How's it going to look? It's going to show favoritism, but she does it anyway. So her mom
Yeah.
signs off.
She
on her
shows
book.
favoritism. Yeah.
Like
She's the female lead in Total Recall, isn't she? Rachel Ticotin.
She is, yeah.
don't know.
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember.
I recognise her straight away because I've seen that film many times.
I've seen her. I saw that in the movies a long time ago. Okay, so we know she's an LAPD officer. We know that she had trauma. She was shot. She had a vest on, but for whatever happened, we learned that she was pregnant and she lost a baby, right? Was that from the incident that happened?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because she was.
What I got from
shot.
it. Yeah. Okay. All right. Let's see. Okay. Okay. So then we get like the standoff with Ana Lucia and our people from the front of the plane, and Saeed is first in shock, and all the way, he just shoots all the way down to loss, and he just can't believe what's happening. And no one can believe what's happening at this point, because, who are these people coming in and just shoot one of our people? So there's a lot of mixed messages going on with this tragic situation that happened. Let's see.
And some of them are trying to calm her down as well and say, look, it was an accident, and she won't believe that anyone would believe that.
Right. Because that's tough, when you grow a bond with someone and then someone comes in and says, oh, I'm so sorry, it was an accident. Like I would
Oopsie, be, I killed your friend.
Yeah, no, I'd be like, it's 1 for 1. Who's going?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, like it's an eye for an eye with me, people. All right. So let's see. Did Mr. Aiko knock somebody out? Am I crossing episodes? Did he knock somebody out in this episode too?
Well,
Did he knock out?
He stopped. Yeah, he knocks out Saeed. He stops Saeed from
In this one?
Yeah.
in this episode. He tackles Saeed when he tries to go after Ana Lucia.
Ana Lucia. Okay, but he doesn't say anything. He just does it and knocks him out.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think they're just.
And then he refuses to tie him up.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
That's like the last instance of anybody being on Ana Lucia's side is when Echo protects her from Saeed trying to shoot her. But after that, nobody wants to be her friend.
Right.
She points the gun at her friends. I mean, honestly.
Yeah, she does.
Oh, yeah. She's in serious fight or flight mode, and it's all fine. It's not making sense to her at this point.
She's completely unhinged.
Yeah, and I love an unhinged character. You know that.
It's good writing. I think she's a really interesting character. It's good writing.
Yeah, I mean, I don't hate her right now.
She's not the kind of leader you'd want.
Yeah.
Right.
No,
yeah.
And you never want her to have a gun ever.
Right. But I mean, in modern times, she probably would be elevated to a position of power. Okay, so moving on.
Probably.
All right, so the tailies. I wrote some notes. Okay, so Anna wants. She's making demands. She's like, I want supplies. I want this. I want this. I want this. I want this. I want this, and I'll get out of your hair. I'm leaving. I'm packing up, but I need these things, and I want them now. And they're trying to be like, what are you doing, girl? Like, calm down, calm down. Let's see. Okay. Is this the episode where Sawyer is back and they take Sawyer to the hatch? Is this the episode where that happens?
Yeah.
Okay. So finally, Kate's running after Jack or whoever to get Jack on the scene. And Sawyer is just completely like he's not with it at all. There is he
got a fever.
He's got the infection going on. He's got the fever going on. Kate is trying to baby him to take medication and to drink something. And in my head, I'm thinking to myself, he's going to flip his lid when he wakes up and finds out where he's at. So he's out basically the entire episode, right? He doesn't wake up. Something may happen in the next episode.
Yeah.
What else happens in the hatch?
Wait, was it? No, I think it's the next episode where Locke shows Echo and Michael the video. That's the next one, right?
Yeah, that's the next one. Yeah.
This is the Gilgamesh one, right? Where there was a reference to Gilgamesh and Locke is sitting down with Mr. Aiko. And
that's the next one.
Is that the next
one too? Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, scratch that. What else happened?
Mr. Echo gets to the hatch in this one.
Yes.
And he tries to talk Jack out of charging back with his gun.
Yeah.
And
Got it.
says, this is a bad idea.
He sees
And
the
as soon as
arsenal.
he mentioned Ana Lucia's name, Jack knew who she was, and he's like, okay, I owe her a drink anyway.
And some
Yeah.
and some of the action in the hatch is Kate and Sawyer as well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, or Kate looking after Sawyer. I mean, Sawyer's not
Right.
doing a lot.
Yeah.
Sawyer's getting.
Well, he's doing a really good job at being really sick
Yes.
and delirious.
Yeah,
he's doing good
not,
at that.
To be fair, that's not that hard, that's not that easy to do as an actor. To be fair.
No.
Right. And I will say that it does show, it gives like a moment of bonding with those two. You know what I mean? Because she's putting so much time and energy and care into tending after Sawyer while he's still unconscious. You know, it shows the level that they're both on, you know, that I alluded to in, you know, last season. I think it's more Sawyer than Jack. That's just my 2 cents.
There's some love triangle stuff there.
Yeah, so
going on.
They're going back and forth all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then at the end of this episode, there's Bernard and Rose and Jin and Sun finally get reunited.
We have a big reunion.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And
that's lovely.
Okay, so if my husband was, who I didn't know where he was, came back, like, did anybody else catch on to that? Like the 2 actors, like they go in for the hug and the kiss, and she's basically giving the cheek. Did anybody else notice that?
For Jin and Sun?
Yeah, Jin and
No,
Sun.
I was totally sold on it. I thought it was lovely.
The actors.
Yeah, I thought it was. Yeah, I just
she
did.
wasn't. She wasn't giving lips. There was. It wasn't.
I didn't notice.
Gareth doesn't like you hating on the Jin Sun relationship.
Yeah.
No, I thought it was great.
Well, I thought it was great too, except for that, because that made it not as genuine as it should have been.
Well, Bernard and Rose didn't kiss either. They went in for a hug.
They
I
did.
don't know if it was
Not.
But Jin went in for a kiss, and Sun turned her head twice.
I think, in my experience, it's not always a kissing moment anyway. Sometimes it is a hugging moment. Those kind of moments when you miss someone. So
If I saw 2 friends of mine do that, I'm like, oh, there's something not right. There's something.
That's more about you.
The energy is off. Yeah.
Jin hadn't brushed his teeth in 2 weeks. I mean, give him a break.
awkward.
I feel like if we had been through a trauma and separation like that, I feel like I would hug my wife first.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. But
yeah, hugging is the first instinct, really.
Yeah. Well, he wanted to go in with the full-on kiss, and she wasn't having it. So,
although, just to play devil's advocate,
push him away.
No, but she
pushed him
turned her
away.
head. She turned her head, man. Don't you know the symbolism? Come on.
turned her head and then went in for the hug.
Yeah.
But just to play devil's advocate, I mean, when Jin left on the raft, it was kind of his quote turn to give her the green light to be, okay, I'm cool with you again after their whole, debacle.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but from a
so I don't know, maybe she was a bit.
That was much more of an equal reunion. That wasn't about their relationship ups and downs. That moment.
I know.
Maybe she's still mad at him. Maybe for treating her the way that he did in the past. Maybe she.
Maybe.
She's like, oh,
you're reading a lot into that scene.
Internalized rage.
It shouldn't have happened like that. Like if I was a director, if I was a director, I'd be like, cast, what's going on?
Yeah, like reshoot that.
Yeah.
Scene.
I wonder if it was deliberate that they did that. You don't know.
Can't take it.
Listen, when it comes to matters of love in the heart, I'm the expert, man. All right. Body language. That's my thing. Hello.
Hi.
Say hello.
Yeah. No, go ahead.
Oh.
Did we all freeze?
I forgot what I was going to say. Never mind.
I didn't take notes this time. I thought I did, but I just kept throwing things into the Voxer chat. I think wasn't this the episode that completely blew me away, and I said it made me want to write something again.
Yeah.
I thought it was such a beautifully written episode, and that last bit, the way they ended with the reunion and all that, it was just so well done.
It was good.
Yeah, It's just really nice, and the way that and all the tension that was there beforehand, the real palpable tension, the stuff that was really real. What Ana Lucia was doing was so consistent with her character, and it was so unhinged. And what they would do around it was really good as well, because they were worried about doing too much because she was so trigger happy, but they were also like not on her side at all, and all that stuff was done really well. And then this is all. I remember thinking this is kind of partly what I was trying to get at in Voxer, that they put so many things in place and kind of let them all play out in the episode really nicely, and then that resulted in the reunion at the end. So it's just a really nice complete episode.
Let's not forget how good the music was in this episode as well as particularly at the end. The last scene wouldn't have worked as well as it did if it hadn't been for the music.
Absolutely. We're gonna keep saying that. The music in this show is ridiculous. It's so good.
Isn't it in this episode where so you see, like MJ said, Kate kind of goo gagaing over Sawyer, and then isn't that when Jack goes to see Ana Lucia when she's sitting by herself and just kind of being bummed out and try to talk to her, or is it in the next one?
I think it's this one.
It's this one,
Yeah, the last scene is he confronts Ana Lucia, and then there's a scene that has apparently just vanished before we get to the next episode. I feel like there's a conversation there that we never heard.
Ooh, what do you think the conversation would have been?
I would have loved to see it. I don't know.
Did they mention that in the commentary, Celeste?
No, the commentary was the next episode.
Okay.
It was great. It was great.
Yeah. Well, there was a bit, but I don't know if it was deliberately vague, but there was a bit where Sawyer is kind of delirious, but he's vocal enough to say "I love her" to Jack.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
And Jack just walks Jack just walks off and goes, "Oh, fuck's sake."
Yes.
But again, that is just stirring the pot of this triangle they've created.
Yeah.
Yeah,
they really stirred hard in these couple. No, sorry, go ahead, Celeste.
Oh, I was just going to mention a moment that kind of made me smile when Echo first gets to the bunker and he meets John for the first time. And it's just this scene where they kind of confront each other and they have that kind of that energy in common, and they just see each other for the first time. And Locke is like, hello. And Echo's like, hello.
Hello.
And that's it.
Yeah.
And they just look at each other and it's just like, all right, there we go.
Yeah. They're comparative characters, I think.
I love those two together.
Yeah.
I thought, just on a totally different note, before we move on to the next episode, I thought it was, I'm not sure I loved the way that they initially approached Ana Lucia's character, because when we first saw her in the airport, when she met Jack, she was like, they made her out to be like a sweetie pie, and you kind of almost want, like, as you see her go through these 40 days to become, we were talking about this a little bit before about how she becomes hardened because of like all the crazy shit that they have to go through. But then they give us this flashback though, where it shows that she was already like crazy hardened, like right before she got there because of what happened in her past life. And it was,
but that initial scene with Jack, if you look back on it, it wasn't her being a sweetie pie.
No.
He was hitting on him hard, right? He was hitting on him hard.
Yeah.
He's just like,
like
he had nothing to lose. He's just like, what the hell? I'm just going to go and get this. I want this.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think her backstory like makes it consistent. It reflects how she reacts to them being attacked.
Yeah.
That's what it's there for, really. It reinforces it.
Yeah.
If she wasn't so chaotic as a policewoman, then it wouldn't. If she was really, really rational, you'd be like, well, why is she all weird on the island? but it makes a lot more sense because
Yeah.
that's how she reacts to things. She isn't rational.
Yeah, I think, but it's just. I guess what I'm saying is like they kind of set it up with that flashback. They kind of set it up that like before she got there, she was already a murderer, an intentional murderer, right? So they kind of set it up like she's nasty, and this is how this nasty person reacts under stress, as opposed to where they could have done it more of like this experience kind of changed her, and there was like an evolution.
They could have done that, but I think this was important because it explains why she's just so hair triggered. Because not only was she shot, we learn at the very moment where she kills that guy that she had lost the baby because of the impact of the bullets.
Yeah.
So up to that point, I was like, well, I just thought she was just a crap cop, right? Because she's deliberately letting this guy go so she could murder him. And I thought, well, she's just a vicious killer, right? Who's getting her revenge. But as soon as she said I was pregnant, I thought, okay, this guy's getting off easy. You know, I understood where her head was at and why she did this, because she was losing the baby just made her flip.
Yeah.
And so she's always on the edge, and then she gets to the island and she has to try to keep that down so that she can keep everybody alive, because she has that sense of responsibility. But because of who she was and what had happened to her before, it's hard. And so by the time you get to the end of this episode, she's cracked. It was all too much, and she's just lost it.
It's how she reacts to that kind of situation. Because if they hadn't have been attacked, she may have been a different Anna Lucia than she was as a policewoman. You know, she may have been more caring and more rational. And that sort of, but once she gets attacked, that's it. She's gone back to what she was like when she was, like, you know, out for revenge and all that sort of stuff. You know, so that's the thing. That I think we know enough about her to know that it's how she reacts to situations. It's not that she's inherently crazy. It's just that it sort of triggered her to go back into that kind of state, I think.
Yeah.
It's the results of trauma. So the trauma that she's endured by getting shot, losing her baby, being out in LAPD, which probably isn't, you know, that safe. She doesn't know how to regulate her emotions. You know, she's not, that breakdown with Mr. Aiko said everything I needed to hear. You know, she doesn't know how to regulate her emotions. She puts up the armor. She makes bad decisions. You know, she's not dealing with the stuff she has to deal with. That's my take.
Yeah, I'm sure as
really well acted.
Any city PD, you have to be pretty calloused anyway.
Yeah, because you're.
And earlier, she went to a really bad therapist. He's just like, yeah, take your dad's back. You're fine. You're fine.
She should have had a female therapist, number one.
Can we also say we had a fantastic cameo from Abraham from Walking Dead?
Yeah.
Thanks very much. That was awesome.
I saw him.
He wasn't Abraham yet, though.
I was like,
no, he wasn't. It was before he was in The Walking Dead. Yeah. Which is pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's such a good character in that. So it was nice to see him.
A little bit. All right. Anything else in this episode?
I think that's it for this one.
Moving on to what Kate did.
Yes.
MJ's got a lot to say about this one, right, MJ?
Do you say a lot about this one?
I did have one last thing to say about this one. I completely forgot. And that very last scene. Is it this one? Oh, yeah. Yeah. In this one, at the very end, where Ana Lucia lets Saeed go, I completely forgot that Saeed looked at her in the eyes and said, I'm already feeling dead inside, or something like that.
Yeah, I'm already dead. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Really good.
I'm already dead inside. That was really intense.
Yeah, it's brilliant.
The last part, yeah.
Because he's the things he's gone through has made him like a shell of his former self as well.
Yeah, so, he is. He was a torturer. He lost 2 women he loved. He went back to torturing on the island. So yeah.
Yeah. So he's a mess.
Couple bonding on this show, just saying.
Right?
All right.
That was a really good line. Yeah, I agree.
Fantastic episode, though.
Fantastic. Yeah.
Very good.
10 out of 10. All right, so episode 9. So we get into Kate's backstory. What is it called?
What
What
Kate
Kate
did.
did.
What Kate did. So it opens with her tending to Sawyer, right? Is this how it starts? The episode? She's tending to Sawyer, and then Sawyer kind of wakes up a little bit, starts mumbling a little bit.
That wasn't the very first scene, but it was towards the beginning.
Okay, what was
The very first scene is Jin walking out of the tent half naked and showing someone from behind.
Hurley gives him the nod.
They were macking on each other then. and then Jin feels really guilty because she sees Saeed, tend to Shannon's body, and she's just like, oh,
yeah.
Yeah. And you have that moment of joy and the moment of loss.
Mm-hmm.
And for some reason, this show, puts them together very nicely.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it does a lot of that.
To showcase the harsh realities of Crash Island life.
Yeah.
Mm.
And then we get into Kate tending to Sawyer, right?
Yes.
All right. So Nurse Nightingale's taking care of Sawyer. And all of a sudden, Sawyer wakes up a little bit and says, "Why'd you try to kill me?" And goes after Kate.
Yeah.
Right?
Basically strangles her.
Yeah. And then it cuts to commercial. Well, on the Netflix, it cuts to the commercial. and then you come back, and Sawyer's on the ground. The timer's going off. Jack comes in. He's like, "Where's Kate? Where's Kate?" Nobody knows where Kate is. I will tell you, I felt tension at least when that timer started counting down at least twice. Like I started getting a little freaked out. And I'm like,
he's so worried about the timer.
Buttons. Buttons.
Like, push the button. 43,
it's 42. Do it. So my question is, so we get into Kate's flashback as to what she did. So, there was her mom's husband or Kate's stepfather. She decides to put her drunk stepdaddy to bed and light the house on fire and take out an insurance policy.
Blew it up.
She blew up the house.
She's a demolitions expert somehow.
Yeah. And Kate gets on a badass motorcycle, takes off, and boom, the house goes up. So my question is, did Sawyer say that? Or was Kate hallucinating? Or
that's a good question, because I had the same thought.
Or was something with the island channeling her dead stepdaddy through Sawyer? Since Sawyer's not there now anyways.
So they were talking about that in the commentary. I'll elaborate on that later. But they were talking about how it was a bit of like transfer.
Yeah.
Where it was like it was actually the stepdad talking through Sawyer. But there was a nod to that, I think, at some other point in the episode.
Yes.
Or I think when Jack and Hurley were talking or something. And then Hurley says, "Oh, are you experiencing transfer, some word?" And then he says, "Oh, I learned that word at the psych ward."
Yes.
Or maybe it was a different episode. I can't remember.
No, it was
this one.
It was this one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he brought it up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So did you guys think that when Sawyer's like, "Why'd you try to kill me?"
I didn't catch that at first.
I thought when I watched it this time, I'm like, did that really happen? Or was that in her mind that this happened?
Right.
Yeah.
That didn't occur to me. I just assumed that she was channeling him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I related it to her stepmom.
She already had one experience with seeing the horse, right? After the building went boom, she saw the horse. So the horse is almost like a touchstone for that moment in time, and then she sees the horse in the jungle and she's like, "I think I just saw a horse." And she keeps it to herself, and then she sees the horse again with Sawyer. She's like,
Sawyer, yeah.
You see that? And he's like, "Yeah, I see that." He's like, "Do you know that horse?" And she's like, "Yeah, I do." And I'll tell you what.
So they had to have talked about the horse in the commentary, right?
They did. They said it was cool having a real horse instead of the mechanical polar bears.
They were mechanical?
The polar bears were, but the horse was real. Yeah.
That was
Shocker, right? It wasn't obvious at all.
Mm-hmm.
But no, I think there was some evolution there because after she says I know that horse was Sawyer is after she spoke to her dad to Sawyer when he was still passed out.
Right.
So it's after all the flashbacks, and then she finally she was talking to the marshal when she was telling him, you asked me why now? Why kill my stepdad now?
Right.
But she's actually saying it to Sawyer. So I think there's some relief there. And then she's finally like, actually, yeah, I do see a horse.
Mhm.
Yeah, but she does talk to Saeed about it first.
About the horse?
Yeah.
I don't remember.
Earlier, I think it was towards the beginning of the episode. She's so Saeed is by Shannon's grave.
Mm-hmm.
And she's there and she says, I'm sorry I missed the funeral because I was taking care of Sawyer. And she's like, I think I'm going crazy because I'm seeing a horse. And Saeed is like, well, I saw Walt 2 days ago, so am I crazy?
Charlie,
he leaves. Yeah.
Did Charlie chime in too? And he's like, well, I saw polar bears.
Yeah.
Right? Or
yeah.
Was it Charlie that she was talking to?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Well, she was asking, like, have you ever seen a horse on the island? And he's like, well, no, I saw this, but never a horse.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But so it's weird because during that conversation, I thought Charlie's intent was to say, I didn't see a horse, but we have seen a lot of weird stuff. So I would be happy to believe you. But I think she took it as, no, that's just weird.
Mm-hmm.
That was my impression anyway of that moment.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
When really nothing would be weird at this point on this island. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
A horse is probably one of the more normal things that you could see on an island, honestly.
Yeah. And it would be so resourceful to have a horse on the island.
Yeah.
So, being a horse girl. So I grew up loving horses, riding horses, all of it. As soon as I saw Kate with that horse, I'm like, Team Kate.
Yeah.
I like Kate now. Newsflash. I like Kate. I like Kate.
What a weird turn of events.
We'll see how long this lasts.
Yeah.
I'm full of conflict, but I like Kate and Sawyer. I just love. I absolutely love. Now, Kate and Jack. I don't.
Oh, you're Team Kate and Sawyer?
I think so.
Mm.
And I think Jack scares Kate like ick. Because they had a smooch, right? They had a smooch in this episode.
Yeah.
And she pulls away and she's like, I don't know about this. And then she starts running away and she turns around like, did that just happen?
Yeah.
And then she turns around, she runs away some more. Like there was a lot of static energy or something happening between those two.
She kissed him though, not the other way around.
Maybe she couldn't believe that she did that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But
I think feel like kissing Sawyer better.
Maybe she didn't. She wanted to kiss him to see how it would feel, and it didn't feel like she thought it would.
Yeah, she was like, ew.
Yeah. She's like, wait, hold on.
Poor Jack.
Yeah.
Listen, he gets a bad rap with that hair and the kissing, man. Oh man. And now Jack's a little
Kate
jealous.
will never know about his crappy hair.
Now he's a
It's
little
tucked
jelly
away in a flashback.
because Jack
Well, it might be in a photo in his wallet. She might see it.
there's a little bit of jealousy now between with Jack and Sawyer and Kate, so we got a little bit of that going on. But meanwhile, in the hatch, I call him Mr. Ico, like Ico.
Echo.
I
Echo.
know
It's
it's
Echo.
but I'd like to call him Ico. He comes out and says to Locke, we were in a place like this on our side of the island.
Mhm.
And we found this, and I want to share it with you because I think you will understand. So he presents him with a book.
Yeah.
He said, there's secrets in this book, blah, blah, blah. So Locke opens the book. There's a big hole cut out in the book, and there's film. So there's a piece of the film that they showed for the Dharma Initiative. And Locke is like, do you know what this means? Like, we're going to patch it together and we're going to watch it and we're going to see what it's all revealed. And I mean, you know, it was a bit of a revelation, but I didn't think it was like life-changing. Did you?
No, but I don't think we're supposed to. I think the Dharma Initiative stuff comes like little drips through like little bits.
Well, I love the scene. I love the scene with Mr. Echo, because, you know, with him and Locke, because he goes through that whole story, and it's such a Mr. Echo thing to do. You know, what you learn about this character, this is very Mr. Echo. Anybody else in the world would be just like, hey, man, you know that film we just watched? I found this book, and look in the middle, here's this film. It would take 2 seconds. Anybody else in the world, Mr. Echo is like, there was a time years ago, and he just gives the whole story, and he does it in the most dramatic fashion.
Yeah.
It's just such a great scene, the way it's done. It's just ridiculous if you think about it, and it only works because Mr. Echo is so cool.
Yeah.
You know, it only works because he's so cool. You know, and this is very much in character for him.
If you looked at it on paper, you'd be like, really? Do we want to go with this? It's a bit weird, you know.
No.
But yeah, it's sold by.
Yeah, but Mr. Echo pulls it off.
Yeah.
And the great thing about we finally see Mr. Echo and Locke, and there's that great moment where Locke's like, yes, he's like, what are the chances? And it's my destiny. We found this little bit of film. And Mr. Echo is like, don't confuse coincidence with destiny. You know, just shattering Locke's world with one sentence. He's like, you know, you're being ridiculous here.
Yeah.
And this is Mr. Echo saying.
Yeah, it's kind of funny because it was like taking Locke like one notch up, right? Like Locke is usually the mystical one. You know, and Locke is actually being a little, when they're first talking, Locke's being like a little flippant and like, you know, a little disbelieving, and Echo's being like very serious, you know, and he's like, we also found the book, you know, and he's going through his whole, goes through his whole legend, and then says, we also found this book, and he was like being very, very Locke-ish,
Yeah.
you know.
But the little piece.
But I remember watching this. I remember watching this the first time. As soon as he pulls up the film and it's a Dharma film, I'm like, "Kill the film! Kill the film!"
Yeah, more Dharma Initiative. Yeah, more and more.
Yeah.
But
it was. Sorry,
was that piece of film that important to stuff in a book with a hole in it? Like, was it that important?
It was that important to somebody.
Yeah.
I was a little.
I think that was just like, you mean the fact that that's where it was that it was inside. Like, I think that was just a little bit of symbolism, you know, with them putting the technology inside.
Well, and it was underwhelming until that great last scene when Michael's at the computer, right?
Right.
You're like, okay, don't use the computer for anything. Okay, so what? And then you get to that last scene where Michael's at the computer, and it's like, Dad, and everybody who watched it at the time were like,
right. Yeah.
What do you think, MJ, when there's that message comes up with Dad? What do you think?
Oh God. Like I just had the reaction that you all had when you first saw it, and I'm like, oh no. You know, but I didn't make the connection with that happening with the film in the book playing over there, and then Michael at the computer over here. I didn't connect the two. Like when I watched it play it out, I'm like, don't do it. Don't type anything in. You can't do anything except the numbers. Like, don't do it. And I'm like, nobody told him. He probably doesn't know he can't do that. And
he didn't know.
And I mean, if somebody wrote hello, I probably would write hello back too, you know? And I just, you know, it was almost like a Matrix C moment.
He didn't know, but I think he would have done it even if he did know, because I think this guy's just focused on getting Walt, you know?
Yeah, it's Walt. He would risk another incident.
Well, he didn't know it was Walt when he replied the hello, but I think he's just so, like, I don't know. I just feel like he would have done it anyway.
Even when Walt was on the island with him, he just did whatever he wanted. Michael, I mean, it didn't affect that many people because he didn't, like, do crazy stuff like John Locke tying Boone up and stuff and giving him the drugs and that. He didn't do anything like that, but he did do whatever he wanted, you know. So I think Michael definitely has proven that if he wants to do something, he'll do it. You know.
Yeah.
And I think that that's pretty consistent.
One thing I do remember being compelled by with this one, and I remember I was thinking this the first time I saw, well, every time I saw the show, I could stop thinking about this. But when you see that specific piece of tape saying, don't use the computer for anything else, I mean, anything else, I couldn't help but wonder, well, why does the computer have a keyboard with letters on it? Wouldn't it just have the keypad with the numbers? So then I'm just thinking, does it have another purpose?
It probably wasn't built specifically for this. It was just some old Commodore or something that they had lying around, and they used it for this.
Right.
The hatch has kind of a jury-rigged feel as far as whatever the incident was, because they poured a bunch of concrete all over the place and they set this up. But at this point, we don't know what the incident was, and we don't know why they're doing what they're doing.
Well, you guys know. I just don't know. Right?
Maybe.
Probably.
Well, actually, there's an awful lot I can't remember, from the show, just because it's been so many years. It's been 20 years, 15 episodes. So I kind of remember some stuff, but there's other stuff I just don't remember. Like that whole scene at the end, I didn't remember it until it happened. And then I'm like, oh my goodness, I forgot about this. There's a lot of moments where I just, I forgot about this.
Yeah, me too.
It's like I forgot, like with the whole Shannon dying, and and Boone dying, and I had forgotten that Jack was kind of responsible in a way for Shannon's father dying because he chose to operate on who became his wife instead of Shannon's father. I forgot that whole thing.
Right.
There's a lot of the details I forget.
Yeah. I don't know, Lane.
There's maps.
How big is this island? How long did it take them to walk to the other side of the island?
At least
we don't know,
days.
Right?
It was a few days, wasn't it?
Few days, yeah.
And that wasn't necessarily the other side of the island. It might have been adjacent to it.
Probably.
There's no sense that they're on polar opposites.
Yeah.
It's just there to walk. And she was saying that if they'd stayed along the
coastline,
it would be more sort of a better thing to do. Whatever.
Yeah. Believe it or not, when they were talking about like walking for 3 days, I googled. I'm like, not how big. I put in something like the island of Lost, like what size is it or something like that, and it brought up Rousseau's map.
Oh,
but it was so like light and zoomed out. I'm like, all right, I know there's a map there. One day I'll right click save and then I'll, zoom it in and see what's up. But it's a very strange, like styled map, like the topography of it all. It's very interesting. But yeah,
MJ, there is.
But is she an unreliable narrator though? Because she's a bit loon, isn't she?
Well, yeah,
she's a bit loon.
But didn't Saeed try to do the topography too?
Yeah, he tried to decode the maps with Shannon, which is actually something I kind of regretted not seeing more of at the beginning of season 2, because at the end of season 1, you do get that confirmation of the dark territory existing, and now they know where it is when Rousseau takes them to the Black Rock. And so I feel like you could have had scenes of Saeed being like, okay, now we know where it is, let's go back to the map and figure it like the rest of it out with this added piece of information. Oh well.
Yeah. So I don't know how big the island is, but from Rousseau's map, it looks pretty big.
Yeah. Also, there's
we did get a view of it. We did get a view of it when they were on that raft, and it looked pretty large.
Yes.
I mean, there may be one or two things we haven't seen yet.
There's a high risk for spoilers with that kind of Google search.
Underground stuff. There's probably stuff in the ocean. Like, we're getting power from somewhere.
All right.
Well,
should I get into the commentary? Oh, sorry, were you gonna say something?
No. I was just gonna say what else.
Okay. Well, I'm glad to report that MJ and I. Well, okay. First, so there were 3 people in the commentary. I didn't write their names down, which I should have. No, I didn't. So there was the director of the episode, the director of photography, and Evangeline
Lily.
Lily, thank you. So, who plays Kate. And so I will say I did kind of confuse the director and director of photography because their voices were similar. So excuse me if I confuse which is which. But I'm happy to report that MJ and I aren't the only ones oogling over the bodies or the shirtless dudes, because the show starts with that scene with Jin. And one of the directors says, "Oh man, that guy is so chiseled. You got to respect it." And then Evangeline says, "Yeah, Daniel," as in Daniel Day Kim, the guy who plays Jin, "Daniel probably has bigger boobs than I do. It's amazing." So there you go.
Mhm.
No, it was really interesting. So they were talking about how, well, Evangeline was talking about how as an actress, she gets to try a lot of new things. She was talking about how she had to learn how to ride a motorcycle for that episode when she's driving away from the house, and a bunch of other stuff she got to learn for the rest of the series. I forget exactly what. They were talking about how the lighting is really difficult on the island or on the beach because it's, it's bright light, direct sunlight. They were joking about how if you're lost on an island or if your plane crashes, there would probably be a lot of fighting over sunglasses and hats, which you don't have in this series. And they said, actually, that's probably one of the things that's missing is people kind of bartering around sunglasses like, hey, I'm working in the sun today. I get to use the glasses for 3 hours or something like that, which would have made sense. Let's see what else. Oh, and they were talking about how beautiful in terms of lighting that scene was that Dave you were talking about with Locke and Echo. That it is true. It was really beautiful with just like the stripes of the light from the artificial lighting, I guess, in the bunker.
Yeah.
They praised the bunker for its easy to shoot in features. But it's interesting too, which something they mentioned, which I hadn't really thought about, is kind of how grounding that scene was, because of the fact that rarely in this show and in general, you get two characters just sitting at a table and talking.
Yeah.
And they're even talking in a very slow pace too, and they're really taking the time with it, So I kind of felt it, though I didn't notice it, but you do feel, Echo and Locke's presence there.
There's almost like a different atmosphere in the hatch.
Yes.
Yeah.
That just allows those types of things to happen, like the lighting, the placement, like whatever. But the hatch is honestly like one of my favorite set pieces. One of my favorite set pieces.
Yeah.
Well, it's like the mission to press the button every 108 minutes makes it a very different place. Because that's the reason why it's there, sort of thing. So everyone's focused down there.
So what was? Sorry, Gareth.
No, go on.
I was just going to say. So what was the filming location for the hatch? Like that must have been somewhere. I mean, most of it's on the beach and in the woods, but where did they film the hatch? Do we know?
It was also in Hawaii, but I think it was in the studio.
Okay.
Yeah. Everything was in Hawaii. Yeah.
Not a bad gig.
Yeah. So even
it's a great set. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. I wouldn't mind moving to Hawaii to work there. But yeah, they were talking about how everything is Hawaii, even the flashbacks, just everything.
Very cool.
So yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, that was pretty much it. I didn't take that many notes though, but
that ending to the episode. Ooh, now what happens?
What in the next one?
What happens to the chat? Does Michael still talk to?
Ooh, yeah, it is kind of a cliffhanger there.
Those are the things you want to know, or does the connection go, or is there technical issues, or is Locke come out and be like, "You're not supposed to be typing"?
You just have to keep watching.
Yeah.
That
was
but it's long, so you probably won't find out for like 2 episodes. They'll switch over to something else.
But yeah, so I through the whole season so far, I have come to like Kate, from this episode, from her episode, I respect her more. I like her more. And I love Ana Lucia. And I like Sawyer. Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
You love Ana Lucia?
I like her a lot.
Huh.
I strongly disagree.
Mm-hmm. I like her a lot.
Okay.
I don't know what happens, but just right now to this episode, I enjoy her character. Yes.
Well, I'm still on Team Locke. You know, I like Locke a lot. But you know, one thing that was great about this particular episode and having Mr. Echo and Locke inhabit the same space and have those conversations is because at this point, Locke thinks he's a certain thing, right? And he's trying to live up to being the island messiah or whatever he thinks his destiny is. He's trying to be that. And then Mr. Echo shows up, and Mr. Echo is the real thing. You know, I got that feeling from this episode where you get Locke is trying to be a certain thing, and Mr. Echo is. You know,
so
he just naturally is.
Locke is trying to play the role of, and Mr. Echo is. Yeah,
he just is that thing. You know, at this point, you really feel that, I think, in this scene.
Oh, I can't wait till you
say a lot. Mr. Echo doesn't say a lot. When he does say something, it's for a reason.
I can't wait till you see Echo's story, MJ.
Yeah.
I
will say though,
next.
I did get the opposite impression from this episode because, well, I do get the impression that Echo is the real deal that Locke is trying to be, but I did get the impression that Locke wanted to push Locke towards that, or I'm sorry, Echo wanted to push Locke towards that because when he tells him the story, right, it's some story about how an assistant brings an object to the Messiah or something like that, and then Echo in effect gives Locke an object of that he needs, and so it almost felt like, okay, I'm creating this parallel of this person in relation to me, sort of.
Well, that's interesting.
That's how I interpreted it.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, it did feel like he sensed a kindred spirit in Locke, and that's why he sat down with him. But that's a pretty astute observation. I'll probably go back and watch that scene again. Actually,
it was a great scene. I love that. I don't like Locke, but I love Locke and Echo together.
Yeah, I agree.
Well, no matter what you think
I like Locke by himself, but
no matter what you think about Locke, he's just played so brilliantly. You just can't take your eyes off this character. I mean, he's just so interesting.
That is true.
No matter, we all have different feelings about Locke because Locke is, so many different things in one character. He's just so interesting.
But I think the show is very good, very frequently at putting characters together. Because if you imagine if Mr. Echo had gone down to the hatch when Charlie was there, and he was the only one there, or even Hurley, it wouldn't have been as compelling a conversation.
Yeah, right.
So
I don't think Mr.
Really...
Echo would have much to say to Charlie.
No, exactly.
No.
Although,
well, don't say it, Gareth. Don't say it. We all know what you mean, except for MJ.
That was naughty, Mike. That was naughty. Because even if we hadn't reacted, MJ could start thinking. Her brain's going to be whirring now. But yeah, it wouldn't have been like they are very good at putting characters together and getting a really good scene out of it. Yeah, that's a really consistent thing in the show. I think that they are good at doing that.
Yeah.
They make a deliberate decision who they're going to put together.
Yeah.
Cool.
Well, the characters are great because they're also complicated. They're not. None of them are like one-sided, simple characters. Yeah.
Which is why the show's about character. It's not really about plot, is it? It's about character.
Yeah. If that was the case, I probably would have checked out by now. I would have been like, okay. But having that depth and that range and the backstories and everything kind of meshing and the synchronicities and the coincidences and all that, it just makes for a great show.
Yeah.
MJ, what do you think of Libby?
I don't really have an opinion of Libby.
Okay.
Yeah, she hasn't done a lot yet. So
we
haven't seen much of Libby except for like in one episode when they're walking around.
Yeah.
Well, a couple episodes. Libby was.
I don't have much to say about her yet.
Yeah, when she's like, we used to be 23.
Yeah, and I'm like, there's no 23 of you.
Yeah.
What's going on?
Well, Libby's not very good at math.
Well,
Me too.
she might be dyslexic. Don't judge her.
Hey.
So,
All right.
do
She's
you?
got-
else?
yeah, she-
I have one
she's got
question
some-
for MJ though. Do you have any theories about what's going to happen?
To the show in general?
Yeah,
No,
Any of the plot points? Any of the plot points?
it's a loaded question, but
I have no idea. Well, I'm sure Michael is going to want to know why Walt is in the Matrix. I'm
Mhm.
sure the others are going to come up in conversation again. The Tailies are going to tell their horror stories to the other people, saying, you know, a bunch of our people got kidnapped and are now missing. The love triangles are going to continue. There's a number of different things that could happen.
do you?
Sorry,
Okay.
we just need to. Oh no, I need to correct something. Keep that question in your head because I need to correct something you said before. We've met more than 2 others. We've met Ethan and we've met Goodwin, and there was that guy that said, "We got to take your boy."
Yeah, we did briefly.
on the
meet
boat. Yeah,
him,
yeah.
Yeah.
And there's 2 others on the boat as well. One that shot, one that shot Sawyer. Yeah, so we have met those 3 as well on the boat. So I was just thinking, like when I was waiting for MJ to say what she was expecting, you know, I
Is
don't know.
that
Are you
all of
expecting
them?
to see them again, MJ?
What, to see the others?
They've got those 3 that are on the boat. You're expecting to see them again?
Well, I mean, I don't think they're just showing up just to kidnap Walt. I think at some point they're going to reveal all of the others and more.
It's hard to keep up with everything, isn't it? There's a lot of plot threads.
There's a lot of you know, like you need one of those maps with the red strings. You know, you really do.
Do you guys get, because obviously I'm watching it in Britain, do you get the previously on Lost? Do you get that?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Because they do the whatever you need to know, because this is the plot thread that we're going to carry on today.
Yeah.
So they'll remind you of stuff that happened like half a season ago, because it's like that's the thread we're going with, isn't it?
which you really needed when we were first watching this week from week to week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, go.
It's not as bad.
Go on.
Now that I'm thinking about it, I think on the DVD set there's not the previously on Lost.
Yeah, because I don't think
I don't think so.
I think it's just a commercial, like the commercial version. Yeah, that would make sense.
Oh, I think there was previously on Lost in like episode 1 of the 2nd season, but that was it.
I think I'd definitely need it. If I was watching it on DVD, I would go, "Oh God, I forgot this."
Yeah.
Well, it's not as bad watching 3 episodes a week as it was watching 1 episode a week.
Yeah.
Oh
Right.
my
That
God.
was,
Suffering.
Yeah.
Oh, thank God for
That
waiting
was
4 years.
That was really hard, more than any other show I can remember, waiting until the next week. I mean, it was torturous.
Mhm.
and it took so long for a lot of plot threads to resolve. You know, I mean, it took forever. And I remember that was one of the complaints about the show when it was on. You know, when are we finally going to forget about this or find out about this thing? You know, it was one of those shows. It did make it easy for you.
Well, and sometimes the answer wasn't what you were expecting. So, you know,
That's what pissed everybody off, I think, a lot, is that the answers weren't what they wanted or what they expected.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Well, that was 3 great episodes, fellas and girl.
Sure was.
Fellas and girls. Happy to be the girl to the fellas.
Well, don't forget about Olive over there.
Yeah, Olive's
Yeah.
Yeah, fellas, girl, and dog.
Dave, was Olive the one whining in the microphone 2 seconds ago?
No, that's Riley.
Oh,
She's down there. So
Oh,
she's
yeah.
not usually in here. She usually doesn't have patience for this stuff. But
Cool.
you got anything to say, birthday girl?
Yeah.
Nothing further on this? No? Okay.
6 years old.
That's episode 10.
Yeah. We often have a look at the titles of the next ones.
Yes.
So what's the titles of the next ones?
I don't know. Let's see.
I'm excited to, because I can't remember when we learn more about Claire, but I'm excited to get to that.
I know. We've been waiting a while to learn more about Claire.
The 23rd Psalm.
Oh, okay.
So this is Mr. Echo.
That's Mr. Echo.
Mr. Echo.
The Hunting
love him
Party,
so much.
which is Jack, and Fire and Water, which is Charlie. We still got a few ways to go before we see Claire again.
Mm.
Okay.
Well, maybe she'll be in the Charlie episode.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's one crazy piece of imagery that I have in my mind that I don't remember when it happens, but it's.
Don't say it.
I won't.
Say it after I leave, and you get to chat.
Is it flashback imagery or current?
No, it's. I'll tell you. I'll tell you.
Future imagery.
Good talk, guys. Good talk.
Yeah.
All right.
Awesome.
Anybody else in there? No. Okay. All right. Thanks, everybody. Those that are watching live, and those that are watching on the replay, and we'll see you next time.
Yep. See ya.
Bye.